Oh yeah, welcome to How Can She? This is the Marvel Snap podcast dedicated to the filthiest of casuals. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snap Bros, here with my brother from the same mother, Mr.
No big deal. We got Gunny. Woo!
We got GunnyT, returning special guest, recent champion of the Marvel Snap card deck creation tournament. I don't even know how to talk. Oh my god, we got him back. He's going to talk about the SnapJudge League. GunnyT's doing amazing work. Awesome content creator. Gunny, welcome back, my man. With the dress code, with the Unreal shades, with the synthwave background. GunnyT, god damn, you're good. What's up, bro? How are you?
Oh man, I'm having a great time. I just got off a stream with Father Newman. I just recorded with Glazer and Roy last night. Ran a tournament while I was recording that episode for their podcast. Things have just been moving really quick for me.
You're crushing it, man. You're crushing out there. And we're gonna definitely get into the tournament stuff. This pod's gonna be, kind of a shorter one. Not too much has happened in the meta, but it's gonna be awesome talking about all the new developments that are happening. We got Corvus Glaive that came out. We're gonna talk about him. We're gonna talk about the Hela storm that's been happening, and then we're gonna get into the SnapJudge League. There's some other leagues going on. There's a lot of crap going on in Snap right now competitively. It's kind of an exciting time, actually. Let's get it. I grew my hair out for this one. GunnyT, how the hell are you this week?
Oh man, this week has been phenomenal. So I toyed around with some different decks. I dropped rank back down to like 17 something before saying screw it, I'm going back to bigger, dumber idiots and climbing back up to around 700. It's around where I like to float, somewhere around 500 to 1,000. So that's kind of my comfort zone. Past that, it requires quite a bit of grinding, I think. So that's been awesome. Other than that, a lot of logistical work on the SnapJudgments League, which we'll be talking about later. I just got done right before talking to you guys here, recording a stream with Father Newman where we talked about the tournament some. That guy's been really helpful in the whole league experience. He also recorded a video for Snap Takes, Glazer's show, while he was on while he was on vacation. Sorry, I got a phone call coming in. Get out of here, phone call.
Nice. Just Hollywood, baby. It's Hollywood.
And then I recorded the SnapJudgments podcast last night with Glazer. So yeah, just lots of things happening.
Gunny, you're fucking crushing it, buddy. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on this humble podcast.
Gunny gang,
doing all
gang,
this
baby.
shit. Jim 10 Snap, baby, all day. But yeah, man, the content you guys have been putting out has been insane. This week has been kind of the Hela show. Hela's been all over the place. Corvus came out. What do you guys think about Corvus?
Well, I guess I'll start. I mean, going into this card coming out, I mean, definitely thought it was clearly a Hela card. We knew that from the beginning. But I figured it was going to be a pretty clear skip card. But I was watching this Alex Coach meta report. He just reads the untapped stats basically, and 5 of the top 10 decks have Corvus in it. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, I didn't think this guy would be such a crazy meta impact that he's had. It's more than like Beat Ray Bill and all these guys that have come out. So, I mean, it's Hela season. I'm here for it. And I'm pretty fired up about it. I mean, there's all kinds of ways you could play Agatha. You just throw him in Thanos. It's the same old Thanos deck. Just put Corvus and Hela in there. So there's all kinds of different ways you could play him. The ramp's awesome and pretty interesting card for sure.
Yeah, is it like Corvus is that good, or is it just that like Thanos Lockjaw is pretty sick and you just throw him in there instead of Wave and then throw in a random Hela? Yeah, throw in a random Hela as like a backup plan and like. You're just big chilling, I don't know.
I think confidently, I think he makes ramp better. Like, to answer your question, I don't know about Hela and Thanos yet. The standard Thanos, just Torikun, unless he's been playing for 3 months. That still seems to be the best Thanos deck, but I don't know. I'm not the Thanos expert.
I got
he makes Hela more interesting. I would say that. I don't know about better, but I would say it's probably like a side grade. I think he gives you a higher ceiling, but he can hit your Hela. But if he does hit your Hela, now you still get to ramp. Then you just play a normal ramp game plan. So it's kind of interesting. I'd say higher variance version of Hela, but with a higher ceiling, easier snap conditions, and can pop off even harder. So it's kind of an interesting card right now, I would say. And I think it's going to get more interesting when Proxima comes out too.
Yeah, go ahead, Gunny.
I got a thought about why Corvus is so good. So basically, if you play Corvus and it discards the things you want to discard, you win. And if it doesn't, you just retreat for 1 or 2 cubes. Like, think about that. That's basically it. It's like you just play it. If you don't discard Hela, then you probably win. If you discard Hela, you just retreat and go to your next game and hope for it again. Like that.
Yeah.
The worst case Ontario is that you just end up retreating.
Yes, the Trailer Park Boys reference.
Oh, good. Canadian references here. I love
yeah,
that.
You're speaking to the right audience.
No, to your point, Gunny, because I thought about that too, but I guess I think I underestimated the fact that, you know, how big of a deal it is. He's 1 cost less than Hellcow, because Hellcow kind of does the same thing, right? But he does it on turn 4. And it's just, you're so much deeper into the match at turn 4.
Well, that, and like, what do you
get out on turn 3, no problem.
What do you do with a 4/8? A 4/8 doesn't win a game, right? Playing 2 6s wins a game, or playing a 5 and a stone into a lockjaw wins a game.
Yeah.
You know, playing a 4/8 doesn't quite do that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, to your point too, Gunny. I mean, even like, there's, you hit the things you want to hit, and then your Hela plan is on board, or you hit the things you don't want to hit, and you retreat, or you hit the things you don't want to hit, and you still have some good ramp options in your hand.
Yeah, you have like a ramp,
and then you're like, all right. Or you hit the things you want to hit. You have your Hela plan and your ramp. You get 2 birds stoned at once, and there you go.
Yeah.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know what's holding this card down right now?
What?
Your opponent playing this card too.
Actually, yeah, he's like, I think I looked at the stats yesterday, just like on the untapped stats or whatever. Like, he's like 27% meta share or something crazy like that. I was like, holy crap, people are all picking up this card. I did not think they were going to do that.
Well, to your point, guys. So, we're, like I said, I was watching that, Alex Kocha, shout out to him. He made a meta report. He reads the untapped stats. Number 2 deck was Hela, and I think it was just a similar Husky Puppies version of Hela, just with Corvus. Kid, we talked at length about Hela last week with Kier Nimbus on here. What did I say the number 1 counter to Hela was?
God damn it, I forget.
I gave everybody the sauce. And, I'm the Hela gamer. And, I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be giving out the sauce to hard counter Hela. The worst cards to play against are Korg and Rockslide. And the number 1 deck right now is Darkhawk, Annihilus, Korg, Rockslide, Black Widow, all this stuff. You can't play with the rocks. It's already inconsistent enough. So it's hard enough to get your stars to align. So this is how you counter. I think if you hate playing against Hela and you're an anti-Hela boy, and you don't like playing with Hela because the RNG doesn't like you, whatever, I think Tribunal's great. I think Destroy is really good into Hela. Like, it's just a slightly more consistent, a little bit more power deck. And I think Darkhawk, Annihilus, Sentry, those are 3 awesome options you could just dummy Hela decks with just those 3 decks alone. And none of them have like, I'm locking down lanes and I'm playing the Cosmo and they can't play the Hela. I think that's a little fragile and maybe inconsistent, but I think you play Destroy, Tribunal, Darkhawk, Korg, Rockslide. It's just really hard as the Hela player. It's already hard enough to get a good Hela pop off. If you're throwing rocks in my deck, you're throwing Black Widow, I can't draw. We're gonna have some problems. I play Jubilee, a rock comes out, like it's a GG.
Now, how often do you have to respect the snap, though? Right. So I'm playing Darkhawk. They've done some discardy things. In turn 4, I get snapped. Like,
you bounce. You're out of there. Yeah. It's one of the few decks where you could bluff snap for sure. Yeah, it's definitely like a ladder versus conquest philosophy for sure. I think in conquest you'll get called out more if you bluff once, then they're going to be a good player will be suspicious, right? But on ladder you could get away with bluff snapping all day with Hela. Like, they're going to assume you have it, so you can you could just bluff snap constantly for sure.
No big deal. Is your Darkhawk disruption list, is that good against, the Hela Thanos that we were seeing? Because
it's the Lockjaw deck.
Yeah, I guess you're putting some rocks, but there's so much big shit in that deck that it's like it's kind of insane.
It has some junk too. You have the Hood, Sentry, and Eyeless in there, right? So it's not my list. It's on Untap, number 1 deck on Untap right now, as of 12 hours ago, whatever. Yeah, and it's it's just a standard list. It's got like Korg, Spider Ham, Rockslide, Black Widow, Darkhawk, Sentry, Iron Lad, Shang-Chi, you know, all the usual suspects that you'd expect in a Darkhawk list, and it's just trust me, as a Hela player, it's absolutely really difficult to play against. And if you know that as the Darkhawk player, then you could abuse it. Like then you can start calling out bluffs, like because you're the Darkhawk player, right? You have control of the match, but you have to know that going in, right? It's kind of like if you're playing Sarah, you queue up against Hela. Like don't get cute. Like you get out of the game. You're gonna get wrecked.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to talk about some of your lists that you put together?
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, a couple weeks ago we were on here with Nerf Herder, and you know, we thought it was just this novel concept. It's like this vision came to me in the sand. I felt like, you know, Moses in the burning bush or whatever. I'm not very religious, but you know, I was Hela Sandman. Oh my God! Like it turns out everybody thought of the exact same thing. So day one, Corvus comes out, KM Best, Dara, and who was the other one playing? All three of them were playing it. Another big streamer. It was KM Best, Dara, somebody else. All basically playing almost a carbon copy of this list on day one. So, I mean, you know, Lambie was the other one. Yeah, so everybody was playing Hela Sandman. Basically, in the old days of Ramp, you had 2 Ramp cards, which was Electro and Wave. You had about a 77% chance of drawing one by turn 3. Now we had Corvus. We have about a 90% chance of drawing a Ramp card by turn 3. So you basically have 90% chance to ramp, and all kinds of play once you get your ramp off. Now I was trying this with Ebony Maw, Jeff, Nebula, try to get some early game in there. But what I realized is, and what those better players than me realized even earlier than I did, was Corvus has really negative synergy with cards like Jeff, Ebony Maw, Nebula. You don't want to be discarding these cards. You want to be discarding your big shit, and then you want to be popping off. So it's just better to just not have those cards, because even if you play them, like say you play your Jeff on 2, you have a more likely chance to discard your Hela now because you've played an extra card in your hand. So you actually want your hand to be clogged and awkward because you're just going to maximize your Corvus hits. So anyway, the deck is Electro, Corvus, Wave, and then we got Sandman, Ronin, Vision, Arrow, Blob, Doctor Doom, Hela, Odin, and Magneto. The main line, again, that everybody figured out somehow on day one, was you play Corvus, and this is like the snap condition pop-off line. You play Corvus, then you play Sandman on turn 4. Then you play Hela on top of your Corvus. So Hela is going to poop out 2 cards, okay? Whatever they are, it doesn't even matter. And then you play Odin on top of that lane. Corvus discards another 2 cards. Hela poops out another 2 cards. GG, easy game. That's kind of your pop-off. Now, I think this deck is kind of okay, and it's still just a ramp deck, and I don't think it's even necessarily like that great. But I do know a couple of our listeners, they did make it to Infinite with a deck like this. So, you know, shout out to those guys. Shout out to Stanky Kang, you know. It made Infinite climb from 80 to Infinite with this deck. So, but I don't think it's like a super competitive tier 1 deck or anything like that. But just wanted to point this out because everybody was playing this stuff on day one of Corvus releasing.
Yeah, that was wild. I thought you had like this novel concept where I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Sandman fucking Hela. Yeah. And then everyone's doing it. I was like, oh shit, okay, I guess like it's a good idea.
The logical one. They all made it. Yeah, everybody got there.
Yeah, this list is pretty good. I played a little bit of it, you know, when it first came out. Yeah, yours evolved. You know, it started out with like, do you have Blade in there and stuff at first?
Yeah, I was trying Blade, Ebony Maw, Nebula, Jeff. You know, Jeff, you could play with the Sandman with 7 energy on turn 6. You know, with a 5 or something.
Yeah,
yeah.
GunnyT, did you play any Sandman Hela ramp?
I have not, but this one actually, I mean, it's a very interesting idea. It's just like it's cutting out all the crap and going straight for what matters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 3 ramp is like pretty key. A lot of people figure that out. It was like you get 90% to ramp by turn 3. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty sick.
And definite retreat if you don't in this deck. There's no Jubilee. There's no backup plan. You need to ramp or you're out for sure. So
yeah. All right, what's the other deck? No big deal.
Okay, so next up, just standard. Well, something like this. This is so Zurif got the infinite border with this deck, about a month ago. This is just my standard Hela list. A lot of people are just playing the Husky Puppies, Lockjaw, Jubilee, Hela discard. I've never been the biggest fan of that style of Hela, but and I think that style gets absolutely tuned up by like Dark Oculus. If you're playing Lockjaw and Jubilee and they're throwing rocks in your deck, like good luck to you. Like you're pulling a rock for sure. So this is I would say like lower ceiling but slightly more reliable version, more reliable targeted discard list. And because we have Corvus now, we add another 5-cost card because we're basically a ramp list now too, right? We could just play Corvus into a 5-drop on 4. Those 5 drops in here are Spider-Woman, Vision, Arrow, and then you're kind of off to the races. So this deck is Blade, Colleen Wing, Corvus Glaive, Silver Samurai, Black Cat, Spider-Woman, Vision, Arrow, and then Blob, Doctor Doom, Hela, and Infinite. Blob and Doctor Doom are protecting your Hela from Silver Samurai. So those are your Silver Samurai targets. All the 5 drops are Colleen Wing targets. And they're also just ensure that, you have a 5-drop to play. That's why we added the Vision here. We didn't have Vision before because Corvus will just cut your 5s up. And then, he might kind of screw you with the RNG. So you kind of rig the RNG a little better in your favor with Corvus here. And, you get a big Hela pop off in a deck like this. So you get leeched, you just play Infinite, that's not too bad at 620 on turn 6, wherever you want it to go. So I like this list a lot. This was my highest win rate Corvus list by far, personally. Like this was the one I was climbing with. I won Gold Conquest with this, got Infinite Ticket. And but you could play any version of Corvus Hela, and you're probably going to see a lot of them out there. Like you said, 30% meta share, whatever the hell people are doing.
You're the friggin' Hela champion. Look at you. It's ridiculous.
What?
If you want to play something mid-range and decent and not RNG, GunnyT, you have the bigger, dumber idiots, man. You're playing top 1,000 global ladder, not like us idiots here. You want to talk about this list a little bit?
Yes, just changed a little bit from Big Dumb Idiots. We added in Cull Obsidian, which is it's a great bonus over Warpath. So Warpath was cool because you didn't have the restriction of where you need to put it, but only being able to fill 2 lanes was sometimes an issue with the deck. So if you ever got like what's a Central Park where you get squirrels out everywhere, or you get a dumb rock somewhere, it just turns off your Warpath. Also Blob eating 5 power kind of sucks. So we took out Quake. Losing Quake does suck because Quake just steals cubes sometimes. But instead of Quake, we put in Forge, which has synergy with Gladiator. I guess I could just go through the deck real quick for those that are unfamiliar. But Forge, 0, Armor, Maximus, Cosmo, Gladiator, Atuma, Cull Obsidian, Ronin, Blob, Scar, and Destroyer. Going back, the Forge into the Gladiator can pump it up every once in a while, or it's just a 1/3. And oddly enough, I've found that 2 1-drops in a deck is enough for Cull Obsidian, which kind of blows my mind.
And Scar, how often does Scar get to be a 2-power here?
Scar's a 2-power almost every game. Now, we finally have an opportunity to make our own 0-power Scar with the Forge Gladiator, one of our 4-drops into another 10 power guy, 0-cost Scar.
Like a Ronin or something, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't always happen.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's the one that rarely happens, but Scar's 2 energy most of the time.
All right, now we're back. Sorry, my 56K modem couldn't handle the chads that are the people in this call. No big deal in GunnyT. No big deal. Go ahead. We're back. Let's talk about your deck, man. Your last deck you wanted to get out of here.
Mostly Gunny be in the chat here, but for me, I do my best. But on this deck, I think Jiminy Cricket had a really cool discard shell. And for people who aren't in on the meme here, he's a top player. His name's Jimmy Dickens, I believe, and he's a top discard player. He came up with a cool kind of Wong collector helicarrier, even pre helicarrier buff build. And I tried other MODOK discard shells, and this one just feels the best. This one, to me, I'm winning the most games with this. I think you have a decision to make between Collector Helicarrier and Dracula. I don't think the 2 work together. The Helicarrier maximizes your Collector, but he cucks your Dracula completely. So I think you do have to pick between those 2. And without old Chavez man, Dracula's so much worse without Chavez. Like Chavez was just unbelievable with Dracula specifically. So I like this build. It's Meek, Blade, Morbius, Collector, Wolverine, Swarm, Gambit, Corvus Glaive, trying him out in there. Wong, MODOK, Apocalypse, and Helicarrier. Basically, you got your 3 early scalers, Meek, Morbius, and Collector. All 3 of them can get up to absolutely ridiculous numbers in this deck. And for the SnapJudgments League that's coming up, that all 3 of us will be participating in, I'm probably going to be trying some sort of shell that looks like this, has Proxima Midnight in it. So,
yeah, I haven't touched any discard, and I probably won't until Proxima comes out. Then I'll get my feet wet. Then this looks like a kind of a cool list. The Wong's nice. It's good to see Wong in a couple of nice lists. You don't see him too often in high levels of play, so it's good.
It's gonna be tricky. Like, do we take him out for Proxima? Do we take out Corvus? Do we take out Wolverine? I mean, Wolverine's just a shittier Proxima basically in this deck, but I kind of like the idea of having both. But yeah, we'll see. I'll be messing around with this for sure when Proxima comes out.
Yeah, GunnyT, you played any discard?
I played a little bit of discard with Corvus Glaive in Thanos, and did a very little bit of Hela stuff, but Thanos is really good. Other than that, I am also waiting for Proxima Midnight to come out. I have a discard good stuff deck that I've kind of come up with. I'm not sure where this lands. Somewhat similar here, but I'm looking at X-23, Morbius, Wolverine, Swarm, Corvus Glaive, Swordmaster, Proxima Midnight, Hellcow, Stature, Black Bolt, Apocalypse, Helicarrier. So just kind of a whole bunch of cards that don't really care if they're discarded and kind of get bonus for discarding them. So we'll see if that kind of lands anywhere.
Yeah, you got big stats there too with Swordmaster Hellcow, right?
Right, Swordmaster Hellcow, and then getting that extra energy whenever you discard the Helicarrier seems kind of nuts, right? If we discard Apocalypse a couple times, that's a big drop. Get a cheap Stature, it's just stats. Instead of trying to go way over the top, it's kind of a mid-rangey discard deck.
That's the GunnyT special, the mid-range.
Mm-hmm.
You love it.
That's my jam.
And I've just been grinding a little bit of Jets Phoenix Force deck. Those of you who don't know, Deadpool, Forge, Ghost Spider, Nico, Carnage, Doctor Strange, Hulkbuster, Multiple Men, Venom, Phoenix Force, Taskmaster, and Goliath being the flex spot. Again, this is in Lambie's Discord. There's a whole thread
of PDF, right?
Oh my God, there's a PDF that's like 14 pages long. There's puzzles on it. I was doing those and I'm asking people in their Discord, yo, I'm stuck on this puzzle. How the fuck does this make any sense? Because a lot of the interactions with Multiple Man, the Phoenix Force, Multiple Man, and Doctor Strange and Ghost Spider, don't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
And with the Hulkbuster and stuff, and you have to actually play it out to get it to happen. And you have to, be prepared to lose everything and lose a ton of ranks if you start learning this deck. But I'm starting now to see some of the lines. I feel like I'm just getting my feet wet in the Matrix, where I'm seeing oh, okay, I could kind of see some stuff. Still losing most of the time, but
I thought I made a good write up. Jet just blew it out of the water. It's kind of insane.
Oh, that was crazy. Yeah, he has
you were first, Gunny.
Actually, there's a lot of Gunny, you were by yourself though. You were solo. You had to give yourself props, dude. There's about 10 writers on that PDF. But I mean, Jets is wild. And then they do have video links too to look at some of the interactions that are confusing. They're oh, hey, the Ghost Spider does this, and then it's here's the link to what we mean, and it's him playing it in game. This is what happens. So it's kind of cool that way. Just because it's so damn confusing, but it's a really fun deck, and I've we kind of talked about this before we started the pod, but I'm finding myself not wanting to do the weekend missions and being I just want to play this deck all day because it's hilarious. But yeah, I mean that's the meta. I guess the one good thing about the meta before we get into the next topic is Shang-Chi's, meta share is coming down a little bit, probably because there's so much Hela and you can't do anything about it. It's
the Hela effect, yeah.
And Zabu too, right? I haven't seen that much Zabu. So, whatever.
Have you thought about a good fix for Zabu yet? Well, you were just talking about that, weren't you? On your last cast?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so I don't know. I don't know if they just do a one and done and increase the stats.
The one I think would be a 2/3. The first 4 costs you play each turn is reduced by 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Doing that, or make him a 2/4 and do that. But then the argument people were saying was, is that just like basically Psylocke? Like, I don't know.
No. So it's not an on reveal. Like the first one you play each turn is reduced by 1. So
each turn.
Yeah, on turn 6, you're
Then
not
you can't play
dropping
2
2
on
4-drops.
6, basically.
I like that. That's
Right?
a nice one.
Each
turn.
You're just taking a piece off of it. You could still play Shang-Chi and something that costs 3. Or you could play a Darkhawk and a Mystique.
Yep, I actually like that.
That's a cool change. I like that a lot, Gunny.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. Because the problem is like 2 4-drops on turn 6 is insane.
I think so.
It's too ridiculous. Yeah,
that still keeps it mostly intact. As far as getting to play your 4-drop on 3, and then getting to play a 4-drop with something else on turn 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think the 4-drop on 3 is fine. Like, I think that's a fine interaction. It's, overpowered, but it should be. You're playing Zabu in your deck for that. But, like, it's not, like, broken, I don't think. Playing Iron Lad on 3 is a fun thing always to do. Yeah. But it's not like, it's the 2 4-drops on turn 6 that make it absolutely ridiculous. And they print like cards like Call Obsidian that are 4/10s that turn into 3/10s, and you're like, come on now.
Yeah, and at least the 4-drop on 3 exposes you to all the tech too, right? If you do play a Call Obsidian on 3, like you're asking for the cheat, right, to the face, right? You do play a Darkhawk on 3, like you're gonna get Enchantress or something. So
yeah, because you have to play one of them early. You can't just hold them both until turn 6.
Yeah. So I do like that change a lot. Yeah, I mean, something like that would be great. I mean, I wouldn't even be mad if they just put her to a 2-0. Like we said from Adam Warlock, like it feels really bad playing a 2-0. So, just take a couple power off. I don't think Mr. Negative is going to care about Zabu, so you don't have to worry about that. And I don't know. That's another interesting one too. Give up so much power.
Yeah, the 1 per turn. Actually, I like that. I think that's the most elegant one I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
My dumb idiot brain was like, oh, just make the 5-drops cost 1 less. Just shake everything up.
I remember you talking about that. Before you even mentioned it, I was like, wait, Sarah's a thing.
Yeah, I know. Fuck. Like Sarah, if there wasn't Sarah, that would be pretty cool, actually. I think that'd be awesome. But it'd be way too broken with Sarah.
It would be. Playing
Sarah on turn 4, like then you're just like, all right, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then the problem you're trying to fix just becomes more of a problem. All right. GunnyT, let me get on the Snap Judge League site here, and
hold up.
Let's talk about this because this is huge, and we gotta blow this up.
Yeah, I'm fired up. It's gonna be a good time. Get some tournament action once a week. Mm-hmm. All kinds of different matchups. We could be playing somebody just god level, or could just playing just a filthy casual like myself. So, it's gonna be a good time. All
right. So what we're going to talk about now, and one thing that GunnyT over here is spearheading is the Snap Judgments League. Basically, it's a Marvel Snap League. I'll just give a very, very brief rundown here, and we'll and GunnyT will go on and talk more in depth about it. But it's basically just a league where a bunch of people are joining. It costs $1 to join per month, which is like $12 a year, which is nothing. And then you get to play in a league where GunnyT, Glazier, a couple other people are setting everything up. It's official. You play 1 match per week, just 1 conquest match per week. You're paired with somebody. Could be anyone. Could be some high-level content creators and stuff. And then, you're put in pods and you just run this league once per week, and it's pretty awesome. That's my, bird brain, take on it. GunnyT, go take us into details, man. This is your baby. Let's do it.
That's where I'm at.
I love it, dude. I love it. This is so cool.
So first off, I want to sell one of my favorite pieces about this. As you all know, I'm very, very, very organized. We ran a test round of it, I think 2 weeks ago now, just to make sure all my logistics were in place. And one thing I did not predict before this was all of my players came back and said their favorite part about it was that whenever they were paired up against their opponent, because they have to communicate over Discord to set up their games and whatnot, they were just guaranteed to have a fun conversation about Marvel Snap. Most of us are sitting behind our screens playing against faceless individuals, and now they have an opportunity to have a meaningful conversation about a game beforehand and afterwards, and all of them just really love that. So that's that just kind of shocked me. I didn't really think about that before. you mentioning playing against regular people. I have 170 people signed up right now. We're going to easily make 200. My goal is 256 because that gives us a really clean top 8 cut. We'll see where that ends up. But right now I have roughly 50 content creators, like big names that you would know from around the Marvel stat places. And I think that number is going to jump up to around 60 or so. So what we're really getting at is it's about 1/4 of my player population is a content creator, somebody like Lambie or Brode, Den, these kind of, big name people that you've read about and seen. And we're going to be breaking this down into 32 player pods. The reason for that is I did want it to be a league that could be finished within 4 rounds. So a month of play. So a little history of me. I've been a Magic the Gathering judge for about a decade now. I've run tournaments. I know tournament logistics. So that's really where it came up with this idea. So I'm going to take that whatever number of people I have, and I'm going to build as many 32 player pods as I can. They're going to play over 4 weeks or 4 rounds. That'll give us a pretty clean cut. Whereas if I had this giant tournament with 200 people in it, I would have a ton of tiebreakers if I tried to have them all in the same place. The winners of each one of those pods will end up getting a season pass, and then those winners will play in a single elimination bracket, kind of like you would for a top 8 of a big tournament, for the grand prize. And the grand prize, first place will be the biggest bundle of the month, that normally $100 bundle or so, and the second place will be like the $50 bundle. Generally, each month we have that high dollar and that mid high dollar bundle, and those will be the first and second prize. So I think I was kind of talking about this, about the number of content creators, but with 1/4 of our population being these big names, that means there's roughly going to be about 8 of them in each one of these 32 player pods. So you have a very, very high likelihood of playing against these, big name people. Do you want me to go through some of the big names?
Yeah.
Go for it, man. I mean, they're gonna run into me, and I'm gonna be playing Agatha. So when they lose to Agatha, it's gonna be embarrassing.
So I'm going to miss some of the people because I have some real names here. I'm not going to read the real names out. I'm only going to read Discord names. So if I don't know if they haven't put on their Discord name yet, because they still need to, then I might miss them. But we have Schnurp, we have Dummy, we have Docty, got Hela Enjoyer, I got Sino, I got Snap Decisions Joe, I've got Zal Snap, Sizer. Let's see, going down more. Combat's in here. I got Nerf Herder. I got Cables. Let's see. Can keep scrolling here. Tucker's in. Good Dog Gamer. The Snapzician. Doug Pie. Goat Snap. Drewberry's in.
Oh, nice.
Devilish Plays.
Nice.
Shout out UK.
I got Yo Woody in here.
Oh, nice.
Let's see. Kind of bouncing. I got Father Newman, but he's been in since the beginning. I think we knew that. Yeah. I got the Kid. I don't know if you know that guy. We got
nobody.
We got Brode. I got Hannah's Cat Cafe. Got GunnyT in here. Ika, Super Tech God, Lufku 9. Lauren Whatevs, No Big Deal, another cool guy.
Woo.
Got Felicity, Perry Manilow. That was page 1.
That's great. Prashant's probably in here too, right?
Yeah, Prashant's in here.
I mean, he said Lambie was in there too. I mean, all kinds of big.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm pulling up the second page now. That was the first one.
That's gonna be hilarious.
But
I saw Johnson. I saw Johnson lurking in the chat a few weeks ago. We'll see if he.
Yeah, a lot of really good players in there.
I think he might have some other things going on.
Yeah. He's his own
let's
league.
see. We got Game with the Flash. We got
nice
Savage Yeti, Peaceful. Continuing down.
Man,
got
so
Gnome Games. Got Doughy Cat. JD McDonaldino. Got Prashant, like you just said. Got Little Robitussin. Got Fazer. Bohey. I'm almost done here. Lambie. We already mentioned them. I know there's a couple more. Benjamin Roller.
Nice.
Oh, move boy.
All right. And then, so those are just the one. Oh, and JF from over at Marvel Snap Fan.
Nice.
And I probably missed a few on there, but that was just some of the ones I thought we could.
Glazer's
Glazer's not, right? Glazer's not in. He's not playing.
Oh, what the heck!
We're gonna have to send him an angry message.
Yeah, you guys
fold the league. Fold the league.
Get him in.
Yeah, because Gunny, I mean, you're running it. You're in there. Like, you know, there's no excuse for him. You know?
I'm definitely playing this thing.
He does a ton of shit, though. I mean, so you know, that's it's fine if he wants to be the overseer of it. That's good.
Hey man, I want to see him bring a bounce deck in there. You know, I want to see Glazer playing bounce. I want to see him in his element. You know, mix it up.
So I just want to reiterate. So I know some people were kind of confused about like you know, some like whispers I've heard and stuff like so. There are going to be prizes. You guys aren't making millions of dollars from this, obviously. You're probably losing money.
It's like the opposite.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm just saying, I know how it is, dude. I'm just saying it because, you know, we got to get it out there. So the winner of everything is going to get the biggest bundle of the month, which is usually $100 bundle.
Mm-hmm.
Runner-up's going to get a, you know, bundle kind of like it. Mm-hmm. And then the winners of the pods are going to get a season pass each.
Yep.
So there you go. Everyone's going to be in a 32-man pod. Win that, get a season pass, and then, you know, win everything, get a $100 bundle. It's going to be pretty sick.
Now, I can't remember. Did either of you two come from card game or video game backgrounds at all?
For me, video games all the time. Mostly RTS and MMO RPG.
Did you do any events for it at all? Like, did you go anywhere and play? In like
we did one LAN for for Dota. Did we do Dota?
LAN? I've done a decent amount of StarCraft 2 LANs.
Okay,
and stuff.
So in those events, you know how there's always extra stuff happening. Like in the event hall, you have your main event, but then you have other like smaller stuff happening.
Yeah,
that's kind of what Snap Judgment League is turning into now. So yesterday, as I mentioned earlier, I was running a King of the Hill event, which was just an 8-man single elimination, like micro tournament. I called it. It was free for the Patreons to enter, and the winner got 300 gold. Just a way to kind of kill an hour and a half. So that I'm going to be hosting more of those throughout the week or the weekends. We're also hosting a Dan Hip variant competition where the winner is going to take home a Lady Sif Dan Hip print from Dan Hip himself. So like, that's just like it's just extra stuff that's happening. It's almost becoming like this event that's going to be going on throughout the entire league.
Yeah, it's cool. And yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about that too, because you are just started this wild, like just King of the Hills just randomly.
I sure did. Didn't tell anybody about it.
Yeah, just get eight people, you know, and then just have a mini tournament, one and done, one match each. And then winner gets 300 gold, you know, and it's just like, just for fun with people on the Discord channel, just randomly competing in a small tournament, which is really cool, really quick. Yeah. Like you said, it took an hour and a half. It's not even like you know, if someone's there and they have time, you know, it's a cool thing that you ran. And hopefully there's more of that, man. It's fucking awesome.
I would like to, that'd be sweet. I just got to figure out how to fund it. Cause I mean, the $5 for the 300 gold just came out of my pocket.
Yeah, the Snap Bros can sponsor a couple of those, you know.
Yeah, that's what you were saying earlier. We'll see. Glazer and I are going to go over the funding for the whole thing. You know, we've had a bit of a boost in the Patreon, which is awesome.
Yeah,
but the dollars gotta end up somewhere.
Yeah, dollars got to make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I mean, this league starts March 2nd. Very easy to sign up. You know, join the Discord. It's all over, you know, Twitter and stuff like that. You know, I'll include this, you know, QR code that's at the bottom of the poster here. And it's really great. I'm pretty pumped for it. Also, you know, Felicity is starting a league now too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
you know, that's 7 creators and.
Yep, and they got a team. That's going to be a really cool event, just kind of seeing how it all plays out, the best players playing against each other and the teams that they've curated. Yeah, I think they get to choose like 2 or something, 2 people for their team. And then like the rest are random applicants or something.
Yeah, and it's like going for 7 weeks, I think. It's like, or 6 weeks. It's 7 teams, 7 people per team, and 6 weeks, I think, something like that. Or 7, I don't know, something like that.
It's just an exciting time, and it's really funny that both of these leagues popped up at the same time. Felicity's in our event. I think I mentioned her name, but
that's great.
She made sure she reached out and was like, hey, by the way, guys, like, I'm also doing this. Please don't think that I'm like stealing your idea or anything. It just like we both happen to want to start off the new year with running leagues.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Like, I think the more the merrier, man.
Yeah,
like,
shout out to her. I mean, she's in there, like you said. I mean, she's going to be in there mixing it up anyway. So, let's go, Felicity. We'll rock and roll.
Felicity's sick. She like started SnapCon. Didn't she set all that up last year? Like, she was the brains behind all of that. So, it's gonna be awesome. I wish I had more time. This league, like this Snap Judgments league, is good for me because like 1 week to set stuff up with someone else is great. Very easy. I can do it with my ridiculous schedule. The Felicity league, I would love to sign up for it. Maybe if I have more time in the future, I will. But like, I don't want to let my team down, Mm-hmm. I don't want to get on the team with the boys and girls and be like, sorry guys, I can't do this week. I'm working like 8 14-hour shifts in a row, which sometimes I do. Sometimes I do like 10, 12 of those in a row. And it's like, I can't play anytime and I'm on Pacific time and it's late by the time I get home. And I don't want to let the team down. But this, if I let myself down, it's fine. I figure it out. So yeah, it's sick. I love it.
Yeah, this is sick. And to Gunny's point, like, I'm not super active on the social medias, as the people know, but I love what you get out of this $1 a month Patreon. Like, it's great that it is $1 a month, and the Discord's just like rocking all the time. There's all kinds of stuff going on there. Like GunnyT said, there's this King of the Hill stuff. There's people talking about snap decks, talking about the new cards. Like, if you're curious about, oh guys, should I spend the 6K on Corvus? Like, there's like 200 people in there that are just grinding Corvus decks, and I can tell you that, and all kinds of cool stuff. And then you get access to this Snap Judgments League. Like, you can match up against some of the top players or other random content creators, and once a week games with $100 prize basically at the end is pretty sick. Just for $1 a month for access to all that. So I've been enjoying the Discord for sure. I'm in there reading up the messages. I don't post too much, but I like to read what other people are saying. I've been creeping around the Discord for sure.
And again, like for $12 a year, it's like you can get one like Starbucks caramel frappuccino macchiato, no whip, almond milk, oat milk, throw in hemp milk, half pump, sugar, and then that's like $13. Or you can do this for a whole year. Yeah. So
yeah, and then
grande, venti, whatever the fuck the sizes are.
my schedule right now is that we're going to do one of these leagues every other month because they're 5 weeks long, right? We have our 4 rounds, and then that final week is when we'll do the top 8. That 3 weeks in between will be like kind of like the sign up phase for the next month. But in that 3 week period, I want to host like a larger 1 day type event where it's 64 players or something doing 6 rounds or whatever, top 8 cut, kind of like you would for a normal tournament. But I'm gonna get creative. I'm gonna figure out what we could do with this. As long as everybody has their top deck account, which you're using to join the league. Like, after that, it's just a 1 button click and you're in a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and again, very easy to sign up for this. You guys have laid out the instructions. Like, it's pretty much idiot proof. If me and No Big Deal can do it, I mean, There's no reason why you can't sign up for it.
I guess to point it out very simply, if you wanted to, just go to the Snap Judgments League Discord. You could find the link in several locations, like on X or different stuff like that. Just ask around. I'm sure somebody will point you to it. But the Snap Judgments League Discord, we have an FAQ channel, and then all of the information is in there. There's even my mod team put together like a PowerPoint slide. Basically, it's a Google Docs slide that shows you all the steps. So if you're afraid you're missing something, it'll just walk you through by itself. Or you can just ask questions. Anybody in there will answer.
Yeah, and if you are an idiot like me, and because I am one of those idiots who has a hard time signing up for stuff, I found the best way to find it, because you're like, where's this Patreon? It doesn't say on here. Go to YouTube, type in Snap Judgments, click on any video, and then into the description, they're going to have the Patreon there.
Yeah,
so
and there's links in that Patreon as well to the Snap Judgment League Discord and all of it. We kind of made sure they all just kind of like link and flow to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's great. I mean, I'm excited. The like you said, the King of the Hill, which was just random. You're like, hey, I'm going to do a 8-person tournament yesterday. You're like, randomly.
I announced it like 10 hours before the tournament.
Yeah, and then it ran off without a hitch.
It did. It ran without a hitch, and it filled up within like 30 minutes.
Wow, that's hilarious. And then that little what is it, little crown next to the Discord?
Oh
That's
my
hilarious
God.
too. I fucking love it.
I drew that on MS Paint. It was kind of a joke. Did you see the one
great.
that Cable's made that's like 1 million times better than mine? Yeah, I threw it out. It's like we're not using that. We're using
you gotta keep the paint. You gotta keep the paint one. It's awesome.
I think right after I get done talking to y'all, I'm going to go ahead and put together 2 more King of the Hills for tonight.
Nice. Oh man, that's
run
great.
2 simultaneously.
I'll be working. So, but that's awesome. That'd be so sick. Yeah, man, I'm excited. Did we miss anything about this? Like, I
don't really think so.
Yeah, 1 match per week.
All the rules are there.
It's over 160 people now. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
So that's
I think we're over 170. Let me check right now. We are at 173.
Oh, that's lit. I'm fired up. Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, like I wrote all this stuff. Like that's my organization. You've said this before. Like the Marine in me, like I can't be not organized.
Oh my God, dude, you're insane. Like the friggin' Marine work ethic is unmatched. I don't know, maybe Navy SEALs, but I have no idea. I'm just a Canadian. You guys help us out, so. But yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I love it, and I love everything you guys are doing. I think it's so cool. So like, I'm happy to help promote the shit out of it for like the 10 people that listen to this podcast. It's awesome because like I'm pumped for it, and I wouldn't be talking about it if I wasn't pumped for it. I don't really do this kind of shit. I don't even like Conquest, and I'm excited for this, man.
I'm just excited to see this go off well. My main goal here is just people have fun. I am glad that it's super cheap. So again, I think the 2 things I love the most about this is you're not giving up an entire day to go to a tournament, like driving somewhere. If this was a physical tournament, you're not paying a bunch of money to get in. So if you lose, like, it's really not that bad, right? You still hopefully had a fun time. And that's why I chose Swiss as well. So that way you're guaranteed to play at least 4 rounds. It doesn't matter if you come in last place, you had some fun. Hopefully you grew as a player some. You got to have some good conversations. Maybe you got to meet a couple of good content creators that you know or have talked to before. Like that's the entire goal. I want to get the content creators mixed in with the community and get the community just talking to each other. And I think Glazer and I are succeeding at that. As well as our entire other team, right? We've got a whole bunch of other guys working on this in the background. We got Yeti, we've got Models who built our Discord. I've got a whole team of mods that are working for me. A bunch of dudes.
That's going to be awesome. Yeah, I'm going to just, if I get matched with someone really big, I'm just going to harass them about coming on the podcast probably. And then they're going to drop out of the league.
There you go.
So I apologize in advance.
You're going to play Agatha and you're going to rope them the entire time.
Exactly. Oh, they fixed Agatha's rope though. It goes quick now.
That's right.
I think that was a general thing. Was that not? I think they made all the ropes quicker. I could be wrong about that.
No,
I think they might have made the wait times less in games in general.
Oh, well, Agatha's for sure quicker.
No, I think they are.
But all right. Well, what are you guys playing? What kind of Snap Judge League? You're getting there. It's starting like a week and a half, 2 weeks or whatever. What decks you boys bringing?
Proxima Midnight, baby, to the moon.
I think anybody playing against me can count on seeing big dumb idiots.
Yeah.
So just play Loki against me and you'll win.
Oh, I'm just gonna play some dumb shit. I'm 100%. I'm probably gonna start off with the Phoenix Force.
Do it.
Just because I'm loving that deck way too much. I might just continue playing that. I don't know, but I haven't even taken it in Conquest yet. But definitely we'll do some Agatha shenanigans as well. But yeah, my goal is just to have fun and not take this seriously. And I don't give a shit if I win. And if somehow I do win, then I'll just give the prizes away. I don't care. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's my plan, just to have a bunch of fun with it and just fuck around with people and just have a good time.
Gunny, what's the streaming policy? What if I wanted to record my match and then commentate it separately? What would you say to that? Is that allowed?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. No big deal. So there's kind of 2 things that we have ideas for. I think Yeti he's leading our media portion of this. But if you are a streamer and just want to stream your game yourself, like that is awesome. Do it. That's just promoting the league, and that's what we want to see. Mm-hmm. If you want to record your game because you don't have a full stream setup, we are going to be doing some commentating of matches. That's our plan. So like you could on your phone just do screen record while you're playing your match, and then we're going to have an upload spot on a Google Doc. The Glazer is he just bought 100 gigs of space to upload these videos to. So just reach out in the Discord, ask where you can drop your videos, and then hopefully they'll be grabbed by some of the content creators who could then just do commentary over your game.
Okay, nice. Sounds good, man.
That's great.
Hopefully, we haven't yet decided what we're going to do for the top 8, but I would like to try to do streaming of the top 8. Like if I can get all the players together and do like an hour and a half, 2 hours of just streaming the top 8 games, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really cool. Yeah, I love it. So if NoBigDeal wants to cast his own match, can he do it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at that. That's great.
Just make sure you put a screen delay on.
No, not during. Like, I was thinking recording it, and then me and the kid afterwards, like, we'll just like.
Oh no, we love it. Do that. That is a great idea. That's what we want. We just want my goal is that one thing, people have fun, but then it just becomes this thing that people can talk about it. Like, how cool would it be if you talk about your win last week and what you brought and what you saw, what you predict somebody's going to play next week? Like content creators, they could, with ours and Felicity's and all these other leagues and events that are continuing to happen, like. This can just become a topic of conversation all over different media sources, podcasts and videos of people just talking about what you should bring next week or what you saw last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it'd be sweet if just Snap Judge League videos just start popping up on YouTube, right?
Right.
Lambie versus, Joe from Snap Decisions, like just pops up on Joe's channel or something or whatever, like on the Snap Judgment channel.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm fired up for that.
I love it. All right. I mean, what else you boys got to say?
I don't think much else. I think my son just woke up, so it's time to go back to being a dad.
That's it, huh?
It's important.
No big deal. What do you got to say to the people? Close us out.
Well, hey, thanks for joining us, guys. Sorry, I know it's a little different format than usual, but they didn't want to do an OTA change. They want to do Valentine, whatever, which is now gone. So, we can't really talk about that. That was last week. So, pretty chill week. It's the Corvus week, and it's the calm before the storm. And the storm is coming, and it's gonna be Proxima midnight is about the time that storm's gonna hit, around midnight. And then after that, it's Snap Judge League. So I'm fired up. Proxima week into Snap Judge League week. We're gonna be in there. Me and the kid will be in there. I'll try to convince him not to do Agatha unless you guys really want him to. Let us know in the comments if you want a kid to actually play Agatha. I want him to bring the Jeep Phoenix Force personally. I want to see the kid mixing some people up with big multiple mans. We're ready to go. It's gonna be lit. Let's get it. Woo!
Yeah, Phoenix Force to the moon. Peace.
Peace.